Before wrapping up, I'll also take you through the internal GLT column design, but again, in case of fire. So this is just a preview from previous webinars where we have loads from above that are acting on the ground floor column. So we have levels from above, we have reaction forces for all the loads, and we also have the beam reactions that are acting on this column. We have 400 by 400 GL24H, Eurocode, again with Dutch National Annex, 90 minutes protection time, and we'll check first without and then with protection from all sides. And for protection, we're going to use 2 times 50 millimeters plasterboard protection. So if we jump back to the app, I'll start from the start. So here we can select timber column. We can select timber column fire. We can add to existing projects. So I'm just type in, it is the same project we have. So webinar 4 and GLT column fire loaded. So here we have GLT is selected for material. We can choose between suppliers, but we can also go with manual input. So here we're going to select GL24H. For a cross section, I'm going to type in 400 by 400 as we have in our example. First thing to note here, we're going to input the height of column. So we have 4 meters. We have no lateral restraint in both X and Y axis, so we're going to turn it off. You can also see the elevation of both axes in these tabs, so you can see what's happening with the loads, but also lateral restraint. Concerning the timber char data, so we have the 90 minutes with face exposed. I'm going to select both sides, and for initial design, I'm going to select to be all unprotected. This calculation for both GLT beams and columns are according to current Eurocode. So in this case, we're using the simplified approach from the current Eurocode. We have option for adding National Annex. I'm going to add Dutch National Annex in this case, as we have an example. For loads, we already have defined and selected that live. I'm going to just add wind and snow and look through the inputs we have. So we have category B for office areas, service classes, self-weight are considered, and now we have the actual force from above. So in this case, I'm going to input the forces from above. So we have 624 here, 576, 54.6, and for snow, something like this. So we have 0 eccentricity from above. And here we have option for connecting a beam loading. So this is something that we can add additionally. So also it's a good option here to know that we can actually not just add loads, but also calculate the eccentricity. So we're going to select only left and right beam, and we'll input the reaction forces for both. So we have 76.7 here and 72 for live. Snow and wind are 0. The same we have in the right beam, so 0. For the eccentricity, so we know that the section is 400 by 400. The beams will be hanged on the side of the column, so it's a valid consideration that this will be more than 200. Maybe we can input 220 millimeters, just because we're going to have some kind of a connection part that will be distance from the actual surface of the column. So the same thing is safe to assume on the right side. Concerning load from lateral load, we don't have because any lateral loads, because this is internal column, but there is option also for adding. And the last part is concerning design code for Eurocode. So both related coefficients on the cases, K-crit and compression, loaded edge for major axis. So I'll leave this on the compression. If we look on the output summary, we can see that our utilization and checks are all passing at 80%. So we are even good with this consideration without any protection. If we go into the charring part, Now we can see here step-by-step process based on the current Eurocode, as I mentioned. So both inclusions of calculation about the charring rate, notional charring, the effective depth of this section is being calculated here. We can see also the charring rate and time in graph, and in the end, effective cross-section. So for the sake of example, I'll just also add some of the protection here so we can see how this is affecting. So just click this too fast. So here we can select top side is protected, underside, right, and left. And here we can select the product. So we can choose between these type of products. For the current Eurocode, we can have maximum of 2 layers with the same layers, but we can change the different thicknesses. So if we put here 2 times 15 millimeters plastron board, we can see what is the effective layer, what is the zero strength layer in this case. And scrolling back to the charring, we can now see how this is changing based on the protection layer. So we have differences in terms of the start of charring, and also the char rates are now applied according to what the protection we have. In this case, we have different effective layers, so we know that in our case we don't need any protection, but just an example how in some cases you can include it. This is also something we can save.